Hey everyone, and welcome back to the kitchen. Today, we're tackling one of the most elegant and delicious French pastries, the classic macaron. I know they look intimidating, but I promise, with a few key techniques, you can make these beautiful treats right at home. We're going to break it down step by step so you'll be a macaron master in no time. Ready? Let's get baking. First things first, let's talk ingredients. The list is surprisingly simple: almond flour, powdered sugar, egg whites, and granulated sugar. The real magic is in the method. The most important step for success is precision. So, a kitchen scale is your best friend here. Volume measurements can be inconsistent, but grams are always exact. We'll start by sifting our almond flour and powdered sugar together. Don't skip this. You want a superfine lump-free mixture. Sift it once, then sift it again. Seriously, this is what gives you that perfectly smooth, glossy shell. Once that's done, just set it aside for a moment. Now, for the meringue. This is the heart of the macaron. We're using the French meringue method, which is the most straightforward. You'll want to whip your room temperature egg whites in a clean, dry bowl. When they start to get foamy, slowly sprinkle in your granulated sugar while the mixer is running. Keep whipping until you get stiff, glossy peaks. This means when you lift the whisk, the peak stands straight up without flopping over. You should be able to turn the bowl upside down without anything falling out. That's when you know it's perfect. This strong meringue structure is crucial for creating those iconic feet on your macarons. This next stage is called macaronage. It's where we combine our dry ingredients with the meringue. Add about a third of your almond flour mixture to the meringue and gently fold it in with a spatula. Don't be too rough. We want to keep as much air as possible. Once it's mostly combined, add the rest of the dry ingredients in 2 more batches. Keep folding by scraping around the bowl and through the middle. You're looking for a very specific consistency. The batter should flow off the spatula in a thick, continuous ribbon, and you should be able to draw a figure 8 with it without it breaking. It's often described as being like slow-moving lava. Undermixing will give you lumpy, cracked tops, and overmixing will make the batter too thin, causing your macarons to spread out and not develop feet. So take your time here. Once your batter is ready, transfer it to a piping bag fitted with a round tip. On a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or a silicone mat, pipe small, uniform circles, about 1.5 inches in diameter. Pipe straight down and give a quick flick of the wrist to finish. After piping, firmly tap the baking sheet on the counter a few times. This helps release any trapped air bubbles, which can cause cracks during baking. Now, for a very important step, resting. Let the macarons sit at room temperature for about 30 to 60 minutes, or until they form a skin. When you gently touch the top, it shouldn't stick to your finger. This step ensures they rise upwards and develop those beautiful feet instead of spreading out. While they rest, preheat your oven. Every oven is different, so you might need to experiment, but a good starting point is around 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius. Bake for about 15 to 17 minutes. You'll know they're redone when the tops are firm and the feet don't wobble when you gently touch them. Let them cool completely on the baking sheet before trying to peel them off. While they cool, you can whip up your favorite filling. Buttercream, ganache, or jam are all fantastic choices. Once cooled, match up your shells by size, pipe a small amount of filling onto one shell, and gently sandwich it with another. For the best flavor and texture, let the filled macarons mature in an airtight container in the fridge for 24 hours. This allows the filling to soften the inside of the shell, creating that signature chewy crisp texture. And there you have it. Perfect, homemade French macarons. See, it wasn't so scary after all. The key is just patience and precision. Thank you so much for baking along with me today. If you try this recipe, let me know how it goes in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more baking adventures. See you next time.